good fun. Days like these are great. You get the whole industry together, and to have, companies and corporations like Interbet and Cape Racing who are so generous with sort of time and energy into making a day like this possible is it's fantastic for everyone.
So the first leg of our carryover jackpot and the first of the Grade 1 sprints is the Alan Robertson Championship for 2-year-old fillies over 1,200 metres. The race goes at 14.03. Again, I do believe that we'll far exceed the expectation of a 3 million rand jackpot pool. And before we get into discussing the Alan Robertson Championship in any great detail, we're going to have a look at a rerun of number 10, Winter Cloud, winning at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth on the 25th of February, and also a rerun of Mrs. Geriatrics, winning the nursery on the 29th of April, and then we'll also hear from Sean Terry.
They followed by Miss Hannigan further back in the field. American Graffiti came under pressure. Now it's Cullinan Blue on the inside. Red Hot Rose in the middle. Red Hot Rose with 150 metres left to go. Mrs. Geriatrics is trying to get into it late now. Red Hot Rose from Mrs. Geriatrics, who's flying in the closing stages. Mrs. Geriatrics beat Red Hot Rose.
350 metres left to go, and Icy Blast leads the way by a good couple. Out the pack we got Winter Cloud, who's starting to reel in the leader. Up the outside we got Distant Winter. Between runners Golden Tatiana. Down the inside it's Winter Cloud that has taken the lead. We're into the closing stages. Distant Winter is chasing up the outside, but there's no stopping Grant van Niekerk as Winter Cloud wins it from Distant Winter.
Mrs. Geriatric lines up for the Alan Robertson, and I'm very happy with this filly. Everything has gone smoothly in her preparation. She seems to have improved every time she's run. There always seems to be a little bit more in the tank. Obviously, Winter Cloud looks a tough nut to crack. I think she would be the main opposition, but this filly is very game, and I expect it to fight out the finish again.
Well, the Magical Ladies Syndicate will be out in full force at Hollywoodbets Scottsville to support number 12, Mrs. Geriatrics. They're all making the trip from Johannesburg, and we saw those joyous scenes after the unbeaten daughter of Vercingetorix won the nursery on the 29th of April. But Rahil, to cut to the chase, it's always difficult to compare juvenile form lines from different centres. They're improving at different rates, but I am super impressed with the way that number 10, Winter Cloud, has gone about her business, and I'm not looking past her for the winner.
No, am I, Graham. I think that she's special, and I think that she'll win this Group 1. I mean, when she won the Strelitzia last time, you have to be you have to be blown away by the way that the manner in which she did it, and she went past Hot Pearl, and it was obviously all in preparation to this race here, and she came through it with flying colours. She's a 3-time winner from 4 outings. I think she'll win, and I think she'll win well. Helder de Meyer has gotten to know her nicely, and he'll certainly be out to remain unbeaten aboard this filly. So I think she's a banker in all bets here. 9 to 10 a current price. I'd suggest for sure Winter Cloud and maybe a couple of other horses you want to include. When you start looking past her, then you see Mrs. Geriatrics, then you go to Red Hot Rose, then from Red Hot Rose you go to Global Thunder, and it just becomes all too muddling, and there's a huge discrepancy in the betting market. Mrs. Geriatrics is at 4 to 1, whereas Red Hot Rose is at 20 to 1. It simply doesn't make sense to me at all. I know that Mrs. Geriatrics is unbeaten, but the manner in which, the way Red Hot Rose ran last time out, there can't be such a huge discrepancy in the market. So Winter Cloud, the one to beat her, and I think that she'll come through this race here quite well.
Also had a chat with Glenn Cotson because he saddles the 2 useful fillies, Golden Tatiana and Raskova. And you talk about discrepancies in the market. He cannot believe that Golden Tatiana is 7 to 1 and Raskova 25 to 1 because Raskova, of course, is herself a feature race winner. She won under Christophe Soumillon on Met Day. And he says there's little to choose between them, but he does also think that they kind of might be in there for minor money, but might be chasing shadows. So in terms of race 5, the opening leg of our carryover jackpot of Grade 1 sprints, the Alan Robertson Fillies Championship over 1,200 metres. Rahil and I are not going to argue with the market. We are super impressed with number 10, Winter Cloud, and we think Winter Cloud is going to win and win with something in hand. As Rahil says, if you start to look to beat her, then you've got to go quite a few. So we're going to nail our colours to the mast. and make Winter Cloud not only a banker in the opening leg of this carryover jackpot, but also a banker in the pick six.
The betting, the not so much anymore, is more down to my own fault. I need to get studying again to get the edge back. But yeah, it's a great product. I love the exchange. It's really, in my opinion, one of the better bookmakers, if not the best bookmaker out there.